All right, Shalom. I'd like to start up by saying Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, the sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I'm Chanak Sa'an by Yashar Allah from the Lions and the Yashar Allah camp. And coming with a quick lesson, Lord willing, is edifying and serve His purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and waiting on the return of our King Yahweh Shai for the deliverance of the elect of the children of Israel. All right, so this particular lesson, the topic is on 5 ways the Russian invasion of Ukraine could impact the United States economy. All right, so it's coming from this article from the Hill. All right. All right, and this article was written to yesterday. Yesterday. All right, because ultimately what this is going to boil down to is Russia and America going to war. Everybody looks at it as Russia invading Ukraine, but actually, in actuality, what they're doing, Russia is protecting their back door, because one of the arrangements and agreements that the Security Council that Russia wanted was not for the West not to place missiles and military bases around Ukraine and other historical Soviet Union countries. He wants all the countries that were once a part of the Soviet Union. He doesn't want any military bases on it or any missiles set up there. He wants all those back, and that's going to prophecy according to Ezekiel chapter 38. All right, so this is all been mustered up by Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, because he mustered up the battle. Okay, it says and ultimately you're going to see America stripped of everything. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go get a precept dealing with that, because not only is this going to not only is this invasion going to affect the American economy, it's going to affect the global economy, but America's going to feel it the worst. All right, because the dollar is going to feel it the worst. So now the dollar has been depreciating for a while now. In fact, it's been spoken about. The elder spoke about it for a while, for years, but they've been pumping it up, and it's pumped up through de facto. There's nothing really you could do to raise the value of the dollar, but like put more dollars out there. That they did use quantitative easing and try to get people spend more money to stimulate the economy a little bit. That's why I call it stimulus checks, but that's not working, and the bubble is about to burst. So what are they doing? They're trying to find a scapegoat, kind of like that Jim Carrey movie, Dick and Jane, where they gave him that promotion just for him to be the fall guy, to go in there and as soon as he went to give the speech of him being the promotion of the CEO of the company went bankrupt. And now he was the one and took everybody's pension. Now he was the one that was the scapegoat. That's what they're using Russia for. So ultimately what it's going to boil down to is America being stripped of everything, and Russia and America going to war, and this place, Babylon the Great, be turned into a lake of fire, man. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate." So now you're witnessing America getting that status taken away from us, taken away from it. So it's time for America to sit in the dust. It can no longer be on that high horse anymore. They have no need for the dollar anymore. They're going to implement a new form of currency, which is going to be some form of cashless, noteless monetary system, which is the MOTB. And this is what's all this is leading up to, man. They want to crash. They want to get a global crash of the economy, the global economy, so they can implement that new form of currency. All right. So America has to be brought down, and the dollar has to be brought down. America has to be brought out of the way before that can officially happen, and they can implement a new system, which, aka the New World Order. And you're seeing it happen right before our eyes. All right, that's why Yahweh Shai Shai gives warning and gives revelation to his prophets for us to go out there and speak these things on the highways and byways and hedges to warn the people. All right, I'm gonna go into that. It says, but it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right. So America has lost that delicate status of being a powerhouse nation because ultimately Russia has taken that from them. And you're going to witness them being stripped of everything and being left naked and bare. Okay. But the Lord gives Yahweh Hashem. Matter of fact, let me get that. Ezekiel 47 and 2, it says the millstones and they take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the legs, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Right. So everybody's gonna see America for what it is. America's gonna be stripped from everything. America's gonna be exposed for all the wickedness. All right. So and it's gonna be left with nothing. They're gonna take everything from America, and America's gonna be the third world country. All right. That's why Yahweh Shema Shai put the spirit on the men of the Lord to prophesy of these things that are about to happen and to warn the people. All right, to warn the wicked of their wickedness and to warn the elect to give warning unto the elect to cleave unto Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 13 verse 1. It says, "The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see." Right, it says the burden of Babylon. It was a vision given unto Isaiah, what's going to happen in these times. All right. It says, "Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them." Right. And that high mountain is America. All right. The high exalted government of the world government is America. All right. And its driving back and forth is NATO, and its financial force is the European Union. Okay. But the hammer of the earth is America. All right. That's that high exalted government that pretty much runs the world. All right, and that banner that we lift up is Yahweh Shai, man. That's Yahweh Shai is that standard that we go to in order to seek salvation. He's the standard. He's the standard, and America is the standard of wickedness. Yahweh Shai is the standard of righteousness. All right, and it says, "Lift up the banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles." Right. So now, instead of going up and talking about Black Lives Matter, we need to talk about Israelite Lives Matter, getting our true identity back, professing the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the Father's name Yahweh, the Son's name Yahweh Shai. All right. So we shake the hand to our people, let them know about their wickedness, man. You know, we're warning the people before the destruction comes, so we can go up into these city halls and go up into these different places, chief places of concourse, and prophesy against this place. All right, and I'm gonna get to the lesson real quick. Get into this article, but yeah. So we lift up a banner, shake the hand, and go up into these chief places of concourse and these government official buildings, and let them know, profess to them the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and let them know of their wickedness and the wickedness of our people, man. Let me get Proverbs. This is Proverbs 1:20. It says, "Wisdom crieth out, she uttereth a voice in the streets. She cried from the chief place of concourse in the openings of the gate. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long will ye simple ones love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge." Right. So nobody in these chief places, in these upper echelon of places, wants to hear the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. They want to they want to be conformed to this system. That's what 2/3 of our people are going to fall victim to. But the scriptures tell us in Jeremiah to flee out of the midst of Babylon, free every man his soul. Get your mind out of this place. So you'll be able to hear that voice that said, "Come up hither and be delivered in the time of deliverance by Yahweh Shai, man, and the holy angels." All right. So now we wisdom crieth out in the streets. So that's why we're out there on the highways and byways, shaking the hand to our people, man, letting them know their transgressions. All right. Telling them to turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and his law, statutes, and commandments. Okay. All right, so let me get into this article a little bit. It says the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the unprecedented sanctions imposed in response by the United States and Western allies have rattled the global economy and financial markets. Right. And that's what it's all about, man. They're making Russia seem like the bad guy on an already failing system that they had pulled the plug on. But now they need a scapegoat, and Russia's being that scapegoat. So you got everybody mad at Russia being the bad guy, saying Russia they don't have no regards for life for invading Ukraine. But that's all set up by the United States. He knew if NATO and the United States took Ukraine, that's it for Russia. They would be totally surrounded by the enemy's missiles. So Russia had to make had to pull the trigger, man. You know, it's in that situation, it was either kill or be killed. But what is that? What has America done? They painted a false narrative as if Russia's the bad guy, and had time to turn the whole world against Vladimir Putin. All right, so that ultimately these are all Edomites, and this is Satan divided against Satan, so they ain't gonna be able to stand. All right, it says they've also appended supply chains for crucial foods. All right, so this whole system is turned upside down. Energy and industrial products amid a global burst of inflation. All right, right, because I remember one of the brothers saying they had went to the store. It might have been a snack cake or something. It was $1.25 one day. He went back for the same product the next day, and it was $1.59. So you're not witnessing inflation, a gradual increase in inflation, but you're witnessing happening at a very rapid speed. And that's exactly how fast Babylon the Great America is going to fall. All right. It says derailed global travel and driven validity into the stock market. All right. Here are 5 ways the Russian invasion of Ukraine impacts Americans. All right. It says energy and oil prices rise. All right. So now gas is like $3.47 right here where I'm at in Jacksonville, Florida. But I was watching the news, or I heard somebody talking about a news article saying that it's next week it's gonna increase to $4 and over $4. Some prices going to be over $4. So this is that's that rapid increase instead of a gradual increase. It's a rapid increase, and it's not going to go. It's going to keep going up until it's going to go all the way up to its peak point, and it's going to just crash and burn. All right. So it says oil prices skyrocket Monday as Russia's invasion of Ukraine entered into its 5th day, and the United States and the European Union continue to ratchet up sanctions, with Brent crude topping $100 a barrel. Well, in 2020 alone, Russia was the 3rd biggest supplier of foreign petroleum for the United States. According to the United States Energy Information Administration and responsible for 7% of imported oil. So now, so that's why Biden's not imposing any sanctions on energy. It says Russia also imported $13 billion on mineral fuels into the U.S. in 2019, accounting for more than half of all such imports sent to America. Wow. Notably, prices are rising even though sanctions imposed on Russia have so far excluded the energy sector of decisions President Biden said he made in order to limit the pain the American people are feeling at the gas pump. But he's not limited in anything. He's going to escalate it. He says, but Theory Bros, a gas analyst and professor at Sciences Po Paris in France, told the Wall Street Journal oil prices will continue to remain extremely volatile because Vladimir Putin could at any time decide to reduce supply. So if they exported more than about half of America's United States energy, and he decides to increase some prices, that's going to be a slap back in the face. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So when they're trying to play the economic game and try to shorten Russia's pockets by imposing these sanctions and making their economy suffer. But they can also grab America around the neck by raising the oil prices or reducing supply. It says on Monday, the national average was $33.62 a gallon, and prices will likely continue to rise as crude prices continue to climb. According to AAA, the average United States gas price was about $2.71 a year ago, though that increase had started before Russia began massing troops at its border with Ukraine. But see, this is way bigger than that, though. You know, this global collapse was already inevitable. It was already in the making. I mean, the elder was talking about this since around 2014. You know, here we are 8 years later, and we're really feeling the effects from that. All right. It says Russia's invasion and responding escalating series of financial sanctions by the United States and its allies have given the global oil market the jitters, AAA spokesman Andrew Gross said in a statement. It says, like the U.S. stock market, the oil market responds poorly to volatility. It is an explosive situation and a grim reminder that events on the far side of the globe can have a ripple effect for American consumers. And that's what they're talking about. All right. All right, effect number 2. It says supply chain issues for farmers could drive higher food prices. And we're already having supply chain issues before the war even started. It says farmers in the United States are bracing for a hike in the price of fertilizer, which has already at a record high before the conflict. Russia, which is low cost volume global producer of fertilizer, is the world's second largest producer after Canada of botiss. It says a key nutrient used on major commodity crops and produce, according to Bloomberg. It says even before the Russian-Ukraine crisis reached a boiling point, the Iowa Capital Dispatch reported that farmers in the United States are likely to plant less corn and use less nitrogen fertilizer on their fields for next year's growing season due to the sky-high fertilizer prices and short supplies. Agricultural Secretary Tom Vilsack said Thursday that the biggest concern about the invasion's immediate effect on United States agriculture is price gouging by fertilizer companies, and we're obviously going to keep an eye on that. But there's really not too much they can do. Either you buy it or you don't. All right. It says travel restrictions and rising airfare cost. It says all right. It says Ukraine has closed its airspace and an increasing number of airlines canceled flights in and out of Russia. A number of countries, as well as the European Union, have closed their airspace. It says have closed their airspace to Russian carriers. We've already
for the place I call home.
It says we've already seen a tit for tat between the UK and Russia in terms of closing airspace, and the FAA has restricted commercial aircraft from flying over Ukraine, Belarus, and parts of Western Russia. These restrictions, if they hold or are expended, have the potential to drive fares to the Middle East, Africa, and Asia higher. Willis Orlando from Scott's Cheap Flight told The Hill. All right. It says stock market volatility. It says stocks have fallen steadily throughout the year as Russia amassed troops on its border with Ukraine and markets brace for a major conflict. So this is a total global economic collapse that we're witnessing happening right now. And they're going to try to blame it on this war. The arrival of the war and the unprecedented sanctions imposed on Russia could continue to cause wild swings in the financial sector heads into uncharted territory. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has fallen more than 7%, and the S&P 500 is down more than 9%, and the NASDAQ Composite has fallen roughly 13% since the start of 2022. All right. And investment experts are bracing for more speed bumps after years of torrid gain. All right. It says managing risk is key to a good investing plan, but geopolitical risk is difficult to plan for, wrote Lindsay Bell of Chief Markets and Money Strategy for Ally. It says the ongoing Russian-Ukraine geopolitical crisis may be pressuring stocks right now, but history suggests that the dips could be good buying opportunities for long-term investors. So put your money in that if you want to. It's going to continue to tank. It ain't going to rise back up after this. While there is more than just geopolitical risk to consider in this situation, it's quite possible that before you know it, the Fed will be back on top for our wall of worry. All right. Faster Fed rate hikes is another one. It says higher energy and food prices and deeper supply chain bottlenecks could put pressure on inflation and force the Fed to accelerate its pending series of rate hikes. The Fed has already poised to hike interest rates several times this year, beginning next month. After inflation rose well above levels the bank expected, the price rose 6.1% in the 12-month ending in January, according to the Personal Consumption Extremities Price Index, the Fed's preferred gauge of inflation. All right, so these are some of the things that on how this war with Ukraine could affect America. But these things were already affecting America before that. But they're just using this as a scapegoat, somebody to point the finger to. You always have to have a bad guy. And what's America good at doing? Painting somebody else's picture as being the bad guy. All right, they do it every single time, man. They do it every single time. But I'm gonna get a scripture to close it out, and it says, this is Isaiah chapter 13 and 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which is Russia. That's because ultimately this is Russia going against America and NATO because they don't want their military bases on any former Soviet Union country. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So they're not going to be able to pay Russia off to quiet down and back off, and they're not going to be able to use sanctions to do that either. All right, Russia's going to do what they feel like they need to do to protect themselves. All right, and this invasion of Ukraine was one of those things. All right, it says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. All right. And so things you see like hotels and schools being bombed over there in Ukraine, you're going to see the same thing here in America. All right. So it says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And this place is going to be flatlined, man. Totally annihilated off of this earth. You know, it's going to still be here as a memorial, but you're going to see the smoke singeing off this place for a long period of time. And this place is going to be a memorial and an example of what wickedness brings to the earth. Destruction, all right? And Lord willing, this lesson was edified and served its purpose. And with that, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Harikak Wadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone, and my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.